Hey guys, it's Austin from Austin's Car Scene, and today I've got an interesting quick talk video for you guys. Hope you guys like the format of this. This is something new for me that I haven't done before. I've got a bunch of mid-sized trucks here right in a line. I want to talk about each one and kind of compare and contrast some of the benefits, features, equipment, packages, pricing between these different trucks. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the format, make sure to comment, like on the video. And if you're enjoying the channel, subscribe to the channel. I try to post 2-3 really high quality, decent videos, not only about new cars that I walk around, but also used cars and talking about different, pretty much everything cars, everything that I can talk about, from comparing models and engines and transmissions and technologies and brands, also to just, like I said, general new car walk around. So if you guys are enjoying, like I said, like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. All right, so let me introduce to you our 4 trucks that we're going to be comparing today. This is our Ford Ranger. It's an XLT with a sport pack and an FX4 package and some window tint. This is a GMC Canyon Elevation 2-wheel drive. Pretty basic truck, run-of-the-mill. They have redesigned this truck, so this is the old body style that we're comparing in this video. So if you want to see something with the new body style, just give me a little bit of time or check out my channel. This is the Nissan Frontier. This is a Pro 4X 4-wheel drive, obviously. Crew cab, short box, pretty much run-of-the-mill Nissan Frontier. Next is the Jeep Gladiator. This is Jeep's offering to the midsize pickup. It's got more of an off-road fun twist. The roof comes off, the doors come off, all your fun Jeep stuff. But it's surprisingly utilitarian with one of the highest tow ratings and the highest payload capacities. And honestly, a really decent rear seat for a midsize truck. And you might be wondering, this Bronco is not the one that should be here, because out of all 4 of those mid-size pickups, there's one that's missing, and I would say it's the king of mid-size pickups for the simple fact that it is actually #1 in sales and has been for years. It's the Toyota Tacoma. We don't have one in this lineup to show you today. I don't have one in stock because they sell so quickly when I do get them. However, feel free to check out my channel. I've got a ton of walkarounds on new and used Tacomas, so feel free to check those out if you're comparing that to one of these trucks directly. With that being said, let's start off back here at the Ranger. Let's start with engines on all these trucks. We're going to go through and I'll tell you a little bit about each one. The Ranger has one option. It is a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged EcoBoost motor from Ford that they also put in the Explorer and a few other models. It goes into the EcoBoost Mustang. Makes a really good amount of torque. Seems to be fairly reliable. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic in this scenario, and it's a really great motor. Like I said, good fuel economy, good low down torque. Almost feels like a diesel because it's so torquey, and even the way that it responds, it feels like a diesel. Overall solid powertrain. Now, if you're not someone who enjoys the turbocharge, you think all those extra moving parts might be too risky for you, that's fine. There's plenty of alternatives just in this one lineup. But that is the only engine option that you can get. The other thing that they did is you can get the crew cab with the short bed. However, with a lot of trucks, you can get a crew cab and a long bed. You can't do that on the Ranger. Not really a lot of explaining why from Ford, other than the fact that it's more difficult to produce. So when we talk about the cab, you can get a crew cab or you can get a short cab. If you get the short cab, you get the long bed, but you can't get the long bed with the long cab in the Ranger. So pretty much 2 wheelbases available, and I actually think it's 1 wheelbase, just the difference of where the cab and the bed meet up. Moving over to the GMC, we have a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 in this body style. In the newer body style, there is a Turbo 4 now that is bigger than the Rangers with more power. However, we're talking about this V8, or this V6. This V6 has 305 horsepower, 280 some odd pound-feet of torque, can tow 7,700 pounds. By the way, I should mention 7,700 pounds seems to be the typical tow rating in this class. The Canyon has it, the Colorado has it, the Ranger has it, even the Gladiator has that 7,700 pound number. It seems to be where the Japanese brands fall in line with the Frontier and the Tacoma. They are in the 6,000 territory, depending on trim and package and everything like that. So we talked about the engine. It is an 8-speed automatic behind that V6, and that one is rear-wheel drive. You can get it with 4-wheel drive with a 2 high-low transfer case thing going on in an AT4 and even a Denali. Next truck, my truck that I own, not this exact truck, but I own a Frontier, is a 2022. You can tell because of the redesigned body of that year. They went 16 years without redesigning it. This has a 3.8 liter VQ series Nissan V6 with a 9-speed Jatco automatic. You can get it in 2-wheel drive, you can get it in 4-wheel drive, you can get it in a long cab, you can get it in a long box, all depending on trim level that you want, but you can get pretty much any variety. You can get a short cab with a long bed, you can get a long cab with a short bed, or you can get a long cab with a long bed. And these trucks seem to be fairly reliable. Nissan's been super consistent with the way that they build their vehicles, very similar to GM in that regard, and the fact that they don't change a whole lot. They really just innovate on what they have, and that's kind of how the Canyon and Colorado have been for quite a few years up until this new body style. So this truck will be a very reliable option, just like the Nissan is, for the same reasons. Moving over to the Jeep Gladiator, this is kind of a new player in the field in the fact this is the first generation of the Gladiator. It's built on a modified Wrangler Ram 1500 kind of hodgepodge chassis. It's got the 5-link heavy-duty coilovers like we see in the Ram 1500 back here, so it makes for a very stable, towing, decent riding vehicle. But then you've got the Wrangler solid front axle. So this vehicle is extremely good off-road. Articulation is going to be amazing. This one has some mud terrain BFGs on it, which are really aggressive, even for this Sport, which, if you're not familiar with the Jeep Wrangler lineup, there's about 12 different trim levels. Sport is pretty much the basic trim level. This one seems to have a convenience package on it based on the screen and the seats and a few other things. But overall, a really great truck. It has the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 that we find in the Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, the Charger, plenty of CDJR vehicles. So it's a very reliable engine. However, there were some problems when the Gladiator first came out with the camshafts. I don't know exactly what the results were, but for whatever reason, they just tore through camshafts extraordinarily quickly. I sold 2 of them. 2 of them came back for the same problem within 5,000 miles. So very difficult to determine the long-term reliability, because in other vehicles this engine is great, but in this particular vehicle it has been questionable so far. However, when it comes to off-roading, when it comes to towing, when it comes to style, when it comes to fun, the Gladiator is an option that really doesn't have a true competitor, because yes, it is technically a mid-sized truck like these other trucks. It does tow 7,700 pounds. It does have a almost 4-liter naturally aspirated V8 and a tow hitch and 4 doors and 4 seats, but the roof comes off, the doors come off. You can lift it, you can modify it, you can do whatever you want, and that's the beauty of a Jeep. So this individual vehicle might be your number one option if you're into that. However, if you're more practical, if you don't care about all the style, you don't care about all the fun, you just want something that you can hop in and drive to work every single day reliably and get there, well, that is where the Nissan and the GMC might just have exactly what you want. Especially this body style. With that V6, like I talked about, there's no turbos, not nearly as many moving parts. Both of these have independent front suspensions, unlike the Wrangler, so they're going to drive a lot better. They're going to feel a lot better. Particularly in the Nissan's case, a ton of standard safety equipment, including adaptive cruise control, things forward automatic collision warning, all that stuff. You can get that stuff in a GM, however, typically you have to option a special safety package, which I find is kind of rare, especially in this body style. And the new one, it's starting to become standard, which is awesome. So we talked about the 2 reliable, safe, practical options. Both of these, decent resale, decent low entry price, by the way, unlike the Gladiator. The Gladiator is a very expensive vehicle. So where does that fit the Ranger in? We talked about the practical, we talked about the fun. Well, the Ranger is kind of in the middle because it is a fun little truck, just like the Wrangler or the Gladiator is. It has the opportunity to put bigger bumpers and put a lift and put fancier wheels and tires and really deck it out as an overlanding rig if you wanted to. However, I think where this vehicle is very, very useful is it's a Ford truck. What a lot of people don't realize about Ford trucks is they're reliable, they're sturdy, they do a great job. They're trucks, they're a real man's truck, if you will. But the Ranger also has all the technology you expect, especially the new 2024 redesigned one. It keeps the same powertrain, it keeps the same frame, however, the interior is completely redone. Digital gauge cluster standard, large 12-inch displays, vertically mounted. I mean, just a beautiful vehicle all the way around, and it's not crazy expensive. So naturally that begs the question, well, we don't have the Tacoma here. We've talked a little bit about 23 versus 24, and yes, the 24 Tacoma is a completely different redesigned vehicle from the 23 Tacoma. So you can see there's moving very quickly in this mid-truck size. Every single brand is redesigning, coming out with new body styles, coming out with new stuff. I mean, with the exception of the Gladiator, and even that's got a mid-cycle refresh now with a new grille and a new radio, all of these trucks as they sit right now are different in 2024 than they are right here being a couple years old used trucks. So it goes to show you exactly how quickly this landscape is evolving and getting nicer and better and more luxurious. And what I mean by that is the 24s, that all of these trucks are all offering, for the most part, with the exception of the Frontier, cooled seats in a mid-sized truck. It wasn't a few years ago you couldn't even get a heated seat in one of these trucks. And now you're talking about cooled seats, and the Tacoma is right in that same ballpark, which, by the way, here's one right here that we can thankfully use as an example to look at real quick. But the Tacoma is the number one selling truck, and it doesn't have anything extra special going on with it. It's a 3.5-liter V6, 270-odd horsepower, some torque, not a ton. But I mean, these vehicles should just be something that you can casually enjoy and drive, and everyone can afford. However, what has been going on in the market is they're adding all these features. People are begging for more, asking for more. What they don't realize with the more is that the price is more. A new ZR2 Colorado is pushing 70 grand. An AT4X Canyon is almost 70 grand. These are very expensive mid-sized trucks, and keep in mind, these are trucks that you can buy used right now for under 30. One of these is almost brand new, under 40. So these are some very affordable, very well-equipped vehicles. We're talking leather, we're talking heated seats, LED headlights, safety tech. I mean, a lot of features in these vehicles. So you shouldn't have to spend that much to get that much. So I think overall, when it comes to the fun style factor, the Jeep wins. When it comes to the overall value, practicality, reliability question, I think the Frontier wins. This body style Canyon is probably tied with that as far as value and reliability. However, the new 2024 redesigned vehicle is completely different, with a new engine, new transmission, new technology, and a whole new pricing structure. So if you want something that's extraordinarily nice and still technically a mid-sized truck, Canyon/new Colorado might be for you. And when it comes to the Ranger, well, this body style Ranger is kind of old. It's got an old screen, it's got old style, but the new 24 is freshened up with just enough stuff to keep you in the modern century, but not cost an arm and a leg like the Canyon Colorados have unfortunately done. And the new Tacoma, well, if you're a Toyota person, you already know what the Tacoma's all about. Those Japanese people know how to build a vehicle correctly. They know how to place everything right where it should be. And they know how to make stuff that lasts. So when it comes to the Tacoma, it just comes down to, do you want to take the risk on the new 2.4 turbo and enjoy the benefits of that new infotainment, the coilover rear suspension, all of the smart key access, or do you want to stick with the old reliable 23 and lose out on some of those big benefits? With that being said, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you liked this format, let us know down in the comments. If you absolutely hated it, let us know as well, so we'll try to give you guys more of what you like. But thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day. Subscribe to the channel. If you liked this format, let us know down in the comments. If you absolutely hated it, let us know as well, so we'll try to give you guys more of what you like. But thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.